This is our weekly all-team tactical meeting. We're going to use this time to sync up on work going on around BCard, eliminate blockers, and prioritize work for the next week. So in the last week, our lag metrics, what we're trying to achieve, but don't change on a week-to-week basis. We have 144, almost $145 in transaction volume. So this is up $66 from the last week. And our lead metrics, what we think is going to move the needle on transaction volume. We have 3 weekly transacting users. That's actually down 2. 0 new users. That's actually down 5. And 6 communities deployed. We didn't deploy any new communities. Team-wide announcements. We entered a joke race that's going to need votes next week. I think the voting window is Monday to Wednesday. So Coffee Crusher is going to get an email out for us, and we're also going to try to do some work on socials. In general, it's not like super critical that we like win this joke race. It's more important just that we communicate that we are in the joke race to the best of our ability. I think that's the situation for us. Eventually, we're going to actually have to run our own joke race. And I will mention, this is all part of that Octant Accelerator that I'm attending right now. And so they have like really quick turnaround on things. So I suspect that they're going to want us to run a joke race next. So if you don't know what joke race is, it's essentially like a tool that allows people to submit entries and vote on entries. And how you submit and how you vote could be like tweaked in a number of different ways. The joke race that we're in right now, basically you pay to vote. So you pay $5 to enter, and you pay 25 cents to vote, and that's kind of it. And the winner gets half of whatever is like the half of whatever is collected for all of that, like the $5 and the 25 cents, goes to the winners. Like that's the reward pool. So in general, it's that kind of mechanic only works if you're doing like a community versus community situation, which may be interesting to us. Anyways, we can talk about it a little bit deeper as we wish, but yeah, let's get through our tactical first. Octant Accelerator, I mentioned before, this is ongoing. They're getting us to do a lot of work around our marketing plans, like just like running a campaign and like thinking about our brand and stuff. Luckily, we had a lot of this work done already, but kind of adapting it to the really small timelines has been the let's say the challenge. And so that's what we've been working on. Yeah, Tom and I will ship a frame on Farcaster hopefully today, knock on wood. So we'll see. ConvertKit will be gone after today. So if you need anything from ConvertKit, understanding that I've already pulled the emails out and put them into our new email provider, just let me know. Now we're getting into the new member intro section. I do see a couple new people here. Davis Brains, do you want to unmute and tell us what brings you here and what you might want to contribute?
All right, GMGM fam. I'm Davis Brains. I'm a content strategist, a community manager. I got to know about BCard via Octant Accelerator program. So I'm interested in everything public goods, regenerative finance. I love what BCard is building. You understand? New forms of payment and I think quite slick interface. So I would love to contribute, like to make the audience or the wider audience more, for them to know more about BCard via my content, writing engaging content. Links, I'm in your DM already, so I don't, maybe later I should check messages. Right. So basically that's just it.
See your DM, yeah.
Yeah.
Great, thanks. Awesome. Thanks, Davis Brains. And well, Core, I know that you've been here before, but it's been a while since you've been here. Do you want to unmute and tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what brings you here, and what you might like to contribute?
Yeah, sorry, I just realized I wasn't muted this whole time. Like you said, fell off the grid for a little bit. Life got busy, but trying to get back to the rotation. I'm a software developer by trade, automation developer in the U.S. Work in logistics, but I've always been interested in crypto technology, especially moving away from traditional fiat systems. Looking forward to going more bankless.
Awesome. Thanks, Raptor Pineapple. And then finally, well, NT Homie, I saw that you went back down into the audience. Did you want here? hook you up here. If you wanna unmute and tell us about yourself, feel free. If you're unable, that's fine too. Okay, fair enough, homie. Well, appreciate you anyways. And we'll go down into our milestone perspectives. Our goal right now is to create revenue. If we create revenue, then it opens up more possibilities for us. One, we could just become self-sustaining on our own, or two, any kind of revenue that we create will help us kind of raise money if we need to. So either way, we need to raise revenue. We need to create revenue. And so our first kind of goals are to get 10 weekly transacting users, get 10 new users a week, and 10 high-quality communities. Of these, although I have this one on top, the 10 weekly transacting users, I would say our bottleneck right now is 10 users a week. And so this is where I probably want to put most of my time. But as we go through this, let's just start with this 10 weekly transacting users. And basically this means 10 users who are using the card every week. On our user interviews, we had 4 so far, with 1 to schedule. Actually, corrupted Pineapple, I would love to schedule a user interview with you in the next week or so, if I can. So that would be great. And next up, we have to analyze the results, and we're going to start in on the community interviews. So the community interviews, basically what we're finding from the communities that are coming in, they're not as excited as we'd hope. And you know what? That's totally normal, right? Like, I think it depends on which communities that we're talking to, and also what we're providing to them. So we want to talk to communities a little bit more, at least the ones in our network, at least these kind of Web3 communities, and try to understand a little bit more about what would get them excited. So that's what the community interviews are going to be about. On the user analytics side, I updated the rewards and transaction flow to unblock creating a BCard community. So our Kusti on production now, actually, I'll just show you right here on the dashboard. If you scroll down to this section right here, there's a reward summary and a transaction summary. The reward summary will have all the rewards, and transactions may be duplicated. The transaction summary, you're guaranteed to have one and only one row for every transaction. So you'll be able to get like kind of the monthly spend through that transaction summary. In addition to that, I have another SQL query that I've already written that I just need to incorporate into the dashboard, which will give us the ability to kind of get that spend, that just general spend, and a bunch of other metrics for any arbitrary date. So that's coming soon as well, but I think you're unblocked on this now, Arkusti. Does that make sense?
Yep. I did notice that on the dashboard too. Thanks.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, lifecycle email. So Gradient is looking into the Mailjet tools for this. He's not going to be able to do this by himself. Actually, we're going to need some of these queries that I'm working on because we want to see, we want to send users a kind of monthly update, like a statement that you get kind of when you are using your credit card or debit card, just a kind of statement that says, hey, here's all the things that you spent on in the last month, or here's your balance, or these kinds of things. Here's the rewards that you got. So we want that monthly update email. And we also want to send at the beginning of the flow. So, hey, I'm a new user. What am I missing? Oh, it's been a week and you didn't load your card. Hey, do you need help loading your card? Or it's been 2 weeks and you didn't make any spends. Hey, do you need help spending? All these kinds of things. This is where we could. This is where we're losing users, and this is where we need to actually put the most effort so that our top of funnel is pretty tight. So we're looking at our funnel in general, and this is what we're looking at to do for that next. On a rewards flow side, I do need to run the September rewards reconciliation. Have not yet done that. Tom, thank you so much. He kind of has been looking at the incoming rewards and ran a couple ad hoc reconciliations for some big reward claims that came in. So I appreciate you, Tom. I appreciate you doing that. But I do need to do a rewards reconciliation as well and post our public report that we do monthly. 10 new users a week. Octant's Accelerator. So I worked on the marketing plan via Octant. I still need to finish this. I only got half of it done before I got sick. I'm still posting on Farcaster X and LinkedIn, but I could be doing better. And Tom and I created a frame for more Farcaster awareness. We'll try to ship it today if I can. Knock on wood. We'll see. Apparently, the best time to ship is in the morning. So like right now. So if we can finish the little tweaks that we need to do, then we'll get it out right away. And then I would love for everyone who has a Farcaster account to please interact with the frame, like it, recast it. The sooner we do that, the more the algorithm picks up on it. And so that would be really helpful. It might allow us to get a couple more new users. We'll see. And then finally, we're in a joke race contest, which I kind of already mentioned. Any other updates on this, Coffee Crusher?
Oh, just that just with the timing. So the first email will go out to subscribers for Friday, this Friday the 11th. The contest is from Monday 9 a.m. to Wednesday 9 a.m. So I'm not sure. That was my one question to you. Do you know if that's like UTC time? Because I'm not quite sure.
Let's take a peek here on the joke race.
I looked at the rules and it doesn't state it.
Deadline to enter. Where does it actually see? It says parameters right here, right? Yeah, it looks like it's adjusting for your time because you're 3 hours behind me, right? So it says.
Yep, exactly. Okay, got it. Okay, so that the first email will drop to subscribers on Friday. The second one will be on Monday morning. Just as a reminder, today's, it'll basically say today's the day, don't forget to vote, that kind of thing. So, and then we'll repeat, I'll take the same copy, put it on Paragraph so we can post it on Farcaster, and then just use that copy as well for Twitter.
Nice, thanks so much. That's really helpful. Appreciate it, Coffee Crusher.
Yeah, and just I know March said he'd be able to help. I think what's going to happen is I'm going to write the copy this morning. I'm going to post a link on the comms channel and just I'll tag a couple of you. Just edit it mercifully, and then then we'll get it. And I think I can figure out the mail jet. If not, can I tag you links just to help me walk through to get it published, because I don't know if Rianus is around. So
yeah, feel free to tag me. If anytime you get blocked at anything, feel free to tag me, right? But especially with MailJet, like I ran a campaign last week, so I know how to use it.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, and if you need help with copy, I don't know, Davis Brains, did you want to potentially help as well?
In terms of what?
Well, Coffee Crusher is going to write some copy. Maybe if you tag Davis Brains, we can see if Davis Brains could edit some of your copy, Coffee Crusher, right? Like you're a writer, right, Davis Brains?
All right, no issue.
Great, and then that can kind of get your feet wet a little bit, Davis Brains, as we're going. We always sending out emails and having blog posts and stuff like that. So just getting into the flow, however you can, is a good way to do it.
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
All right. We have 10 high quality communities. So the BCard community should be unblocked now because of the changes I made to our analytics. So we should be able to see our analytics as well as the rewards. Open Medicine Foundation has filled in the sheet, which is great. I was actually going to give them a little carrot and say that, hey, we are in this accelerator that is really around crypto native communities. We would love to get you guys while we have this kind of like soapbox. We would love to get you guys on the app. So yeah, it would be really great if we could get Open Medicine Foundation out while we're there. Also, C3 is a new community. This is a community that is based in Mexico. So it's like Yes3. It's like the idea is that it's like yes to Web3, and it's really focused around community contributions in Web3 from women. And so they have lots of different communities that are involved. They are a community of communities, just like Bankastao. So we'll see. I'll book a meet with the person that we spoke to last week as user test, and we'll see how we go from there. So yeah, not bad on the community front for now. I will say that I'm blocking all of these because I haven't written all of the things that need to be written for this. So I'll try to get those out when I can, but I'm trying to, at the moment, I'm really focused on the Octant Accelerator. So I'm going to do, this is not the highest on my list. Let's just put it that way. All right, moving down into our task perspective, we're going to pop into Asana for this. I'm going to just pop over here and go straight down. User interviews, we have hopefully one left and then we'll be done. User analytics, I just got to incorporate that last dashboard item as I said. The partnership pitch deck, I'll just ask Ravis if he had a chance to, did you have a chance to look at this? And then contributor rewards and payroll. Christy, how's this going?
Haven't done anything. I guess are you doing Octant tomorrow for the during the?
Yeah, I'm gonna be
okay.
gone again tomorrow. I mean, you're at permissionless anyways, right?
Yep.
All right, let's try to pick this up next week then. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yep.
Okay, cool. We'll pick this up next week when links are Christy have more time. Okay. So one thing I'm going to add on here is the joke race. And so success criteria, we are entered in the joke race, and we have this here. We have sent emails to our users. We have posted on socials. We would get votes. Okay, great. So this one is done, but this other stuff is still going. Actually, I'm gonna, since it's only your task left on this coffee crusher, I'm gonna assign this one to you, if that's okay. And I'll put a due date of Monday. Make sense, coffee crusher?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, I was trying to get the unmute button. Yes.
Okay, I'll stick that up at the top there. You know what? I may as well put as well the Farcaster frame. So this is me and Tom are working on this one. Let's try to get it out today if we can. Success criteria. We have posted our first frame on FC. We have frame server. So we're using Vercel for this, Tom?
Yeah, it's currently deployed to Vercel. It's not mandatorily has to stay there, but currently there.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. And so that is fair enough. And can you put the code in our code repo? Is it possible to move it over?
Yeah, definitely. For sure. I guess in terms of expediency, I may keep the deployed version as is, but I'll fork the code and get it over there.
Yeah, no need to. Yeah, I think expediency is a good way to do it. You can leave it as it is, and then we'll also have the code there for if we need it another time. All right. Partnership pitch deck. Okay. Why BCard one pager? In general, I think both of these have kind of fallen off a little bit. I'm gonna leave them up here because I do think that why BCard one pager. I feel like I had something good going and then I didn't finish it, so I'll continue going on there. The competitive analysis. Haven't heard from CryptoDad on this, but you know, I also kind of have been skipping the ops meetings, and so it hasn't been great for CryptoDad either. But we shall see if CryptoDad emerges out of the ether. We also have pool together and hire communities that I guess we need to launch announcements for them. Coffee Crusher, just at least in the emails.
Yes. So with this joke race, I'm going to do that first, and then I'll write the suggested copy for March, and then we should get it out a week. Probably by next Friday, not this coming Friday, but next Friday for the first one for pull together.
Cool. Sounds good. All right. And then we don't have anyone from the website team here. Oh, we do. Hey, Bobo, how's it going? I don't know. I feel like this website has been stalled a little bit. How's it looking for you, Bobo?
Yeah, GM, everyone.
Yeah, how you doing, Bobo?
Yeah, pretty good. So I have I've done the website, so it's pretty out there now, but I sent it to Rainiers and it was like it doesn't look good on his phone, which it does on my phone. But I'm going to send you the link so you can open it on the call and
the biggest
if there's anything you want.
When I reviewed it last, the biggest thing I noticed was that the font was not not correct.
Yeah, I changed that already.
Oh, did you? Okay, perfect. And also, I think that there's like some contact forms or something like that. I think that we should remove any contact forms as well, and just
Oh,
send
you
people to
don't?
our
Okay.
socials.
Yeah, let me send you the link so you can open
Yeah.
it on the.
If you send me the link, I will try my best to get you kind of like a list of next steps. Maybe it's not something that Rainus is going to be able to put across the finish line. The main reason being that he just got a new job, and so he's kind of like into it right now.
Yeah, he told me that
Okay.
he had a flight yesterday. I just sent the link inside the charts.
Okay, I
Box.
stuck it here. I'll send this to myself. Unfortunately, Bobo, it's just not at the top of my priority list, so I will try my best, but I'm not going to guarantee that I'm going to be able to get this done this week. Okay.
All right, no problem. But still, like, check the. Are you still going to open the link on the call?
Yep. We'll definitely open this link. Yeah, so you can see it here. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, it is looking better. But yeah, like this contact form, we found that people aren't using it, and actually it's not great. Okay, and so some of these links need to be updated. I guess like some of the content as well needs to be updated. But yeah, looking not bad. Cool. Okay, I'll take a look at it as I can, Bobo. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
All right, and video content. I'm gonna go ahead and move this to next up because I haven't seen Andy in a bit, so I'm gonna move that down. All right, that takes us through this. Any other tasks that that we're working on that aren't on this list? I do know that Gradient actually in the product weekly we have a lifecycle email thing, so I'm gonna put this into the all team projects. Any updates on this, Gradient?
No, I was just gonna say I don't think I ever got the MailJet invite. I didn't get a chance to work on it yesterday, but I was just looking through it right
Oh,
now,
really?
and I don't think I got anything from MailJet.
Okay.
So do I
Let
need
me
to
try
create
one
an
more time.
account and then you need to add me?
No, I mean, so I'm not quite sure. Coffee Crusher, did you log into MailJet yet with the account I sent you? You're muted, Coffee Crusher. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, I was clicking. Did I? Yes, I did. Yes, I was able to log in.
And did it just send you an email?
It did. It sent me an email and says you've been invited. It almost looked like one of those Google invites for a GDoc. Like it's like you've been invited to
Yeah, no, I
access.
didn't get anything like that. I know I got
Oh.
it for Asana when you added me to Asana, but I didn't see anything else.
So
Yeah,
weird.
if you don't
Let me-
mind, whenever you do that, I can
gonna
get you an update later today.
Okay, I'm just gonna send that right now. Yeah, it doesn't show. Excuse me. It doesn't show you on this list of people who I invited. So
That's okay. It's okay. No worries.
I swear to God I did it. And you know what the funny thing is that the autocomplete also swears to God that I did it.
No, you sent me a message right after saying you added me, so I know you must have done it, but something must have happened. It's all good.
Okay. And I'm just gonna quickly send you this email now so that I'm not blocking you anymore.
No worries.
And done and send invitation.
But yeah, the update
Okay.
like you're asking is like I took a look through like the support docs of MailJet. And so there's ways to do it, but I think like I just wanted to come back and have like an outline of how to do it rather than okay, you can do it and let's now figure that out. So that's why I just want to jump into MailJet because I think the two issues were going to be we might either need to build out a bunch of different lists, meaning a list for customers that have signed up, a list for existing customers, and separate our automations in that way. Or I just wanted to check if there was an option where we could add multiple criteria to an automation email. It seemed in like the support documents, the automation was like limited to one thing at a time, not customers that have signed up and added money into their account, like for instance. So that's the only reason I needed to check MailJet.
Yeah, I think that like what we can start with is like a naive approach where we just like send them kind of like 3 emails in the first week that says, hey, have you done this yet? Have you done? So we'll do that, and then later we can start kind of adding that more sophisticated stuff.
Totally.
We'll basically be moving stuff onto our back end, and including lists and stuff onto our back end, more so than using all of MailJet's tools.
Got it. No, that's perfect. That's good to know. I wasn't sure if you were gonna rely on MailJet. If that's the case, then yeah, I should be able to give a pretty quick answer today.
Okay. Let's do this or take on some work. We filter users. Was blocked on access. Of that. All right, nice. All right, thanks for that update. Appreciate that. Any other things that we're working on that aren't here?
GM.
GM Hero.
I'm starting to poke out an article about how fiat space community orgs can empower members and sustain operations with BCard. So kind of been outlining it and starting to write it. I would say if you could throw a deadline on Asana for 2 weeks, that would be more than enough time.
Sweet, that'd be great. Hero. Wink. And so is that 2 weeks like a first draft 2 weeks or like a shipping date 2 weeks?
I mean, closer to final draft and shipping, yeah, than rough draft. You can put final draft is good.
Get it reviewed. Create shippable draft. Put up on paragraph. MailJet. Socials. All right, cool. Great. Thanks for that, Hero. Tom is sharing some of the. Oh, that looks great, Tom. That looks really good. Tom is sharing some of the frames that we're working on Farcaster, and so honestly, it's looking pretty close to shippable. I'm hoping that we can ship it very shortly. All right, cool. Anything else that we're working on that's not here? All right, great. Well, let's get back into what did we ship last week. So I put a lot of my stuff in here. Tom and I shipped a frame that will hopefully go out today, knock on wood. And Tom learned and built a frame server for Farcaster performances, promotions. Yeah, there's a lot of things that we could do on Farcaster. And they're one of our, let's say, micro audiences that we need to go after. But we shall see. I actually have some big ideas around how we can use Farcaster, but it really depends on kind of outputs from some of the community interviews. Anyways, I don't want to get too deep into it unless we really want to, but yeah. Anyways, Zudi and Lynx ran 2 more user interviews. I shipped updates to our monthly TX outputs. I also went through the Octane Accelerator, did marketing plan, business model canvas, product roadmap, frames, and more. I also sunset ConvertKit. Tom shipped some software updates for the TX servers and TX software. Yeah. Anything else anyone shipped that they wanna call out? All right. So, I mean, we can do one of 2 things. One,
have I been unmuted this whole time? Sorry, I didn't even realize that. I swapped devices and I didn't realize that it muted me. But yes, there is one thing I would like to say. I shipped a card design for you know who.
for purple. Nice.
For purple. Yes, that's
Yes.
it. So hopefully
Actually,
if any of those are okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and stick this into into here and just stick card design purple.
Great. And next up for that is OMF. So I will get working on that one.
Okay. Great. Appreciate you, buddy. That's super, super helpful. It's one of the things I'm the worst at is creating these card designs. So it's really helpful to have you work on them. And I will go into the all team projects. And do we have OMF over here already? I feel like we do have OMF somewhere. Oh yeah, here we are. Okay, so they're unblocked now. I'll stick this in here. And we need to get the card design. And so that's going to be in here somewhere. High res card image. Yeah. That's an input. G drive. Yeah. card design. I'll stick this here. Put NF Thinker on it. NF Thinker. Nice. Okay. Great. Thanks for that. Appreciate you. Anything else? So Homie, that's not a bad idea. So Homie in the chat had said, I'm wondering if there's a way you can tie this into some CRA areas to help with financial literacy. I'm not sure what CRA means, but I do think that like a lot of kind of card issuers or like neobanks in our space are really focused on that audience, the audience of like kind of financial literacy and that kind of thing. In fact, one of the providers I've been looking at in Canada, Coho, they're basically like build up your credit score by using our card and that kind of thing. Really, so it's really it's an interesting space. I definitely think it's something we could be doing, especially because we are thinking about creating financial or like I guess like financial literacy from a crypto perspective as well. Like we really want to be that kind of educational resource. I do think that it is it is a bit outside of our grasp right now. I do think that there's going to be a time when we're just like, all right, go, let's do it. The way that we can do education and literacy right now, I think, is through our writing, and so that's something that Hero is doing a little work on writing. Davis Brains is doing some work on writing. So in general, I do think that it is very on brand for us, and it's something that we want to do. For me, it's just about timing. Are you able to speak, Homie? I see that you raised your hand.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I don't know if you can hear me because I'm waiting. And
You're cutting in and out, Homie. I can't hear you at all now. All right, maybe it's not going to work. But yeah, I do think that like it's something as well that NF Thinker is very passionate about. How can we get education into our product? It's something that I think we need to. I mean, do we want to get into some of the bigger ideas here? We have 20 minutes. I guess we could use it for that. Unless there are other kinds of discussion items that people are interested in talking about. Okay, so I'll get into it a little bit. Like one of the long-term, I guess, opinionations of a product is that we wanted it to be this kind of almost like a portal where you could access lots of different kinds of tools, especially Web3 tools, but including educational tools as well. So for instance, you come into our app and, hey, here's a course that lets you like learn about how to create your own Web3 wallet. Or, oh, hey, here's a course that teaches you about, saving and stuff. Oh, and then now that you've done this course on saving, hey, why don't you use this pool together like plugin or something like that, where you can start putting your money in and start like earning? Or why don't you use this like Aave plugin where you can start putting your money in and earning? So the intent with the product was always for it to be kind of like a connecting layer or a glue layer or a better UX layer for a lot of these kind of disparate Web3 tools that exist out there. Or a lot of not just Web3 tools, but just disparate tools in general. As we're seeing right now, communities all our product is right now is you log in, you put in your information, you get a card, you load the card, you spend on the card, and you get rewards. That's kind of it, right? And so there is probably a very small subset of communities for whom that will work. Like that is a complete product, and they're like, yeah, let's do it. Especially communities who have like a certain number of users already. But I would say that there is, like, for the communities that we're looking at, especially in Web3, that's not the case. And so we need to do a couple things. One, expand our reach of communities. So look if there are communities that actually this feature set works for. And two, figure out for the communities that we do have access to right now, what is it that's going to get them excited? And so this is where I think we really need to think about some of these like portals, like this, going back to this kind of idea portal. If BCard itself, like the app, is, if we look at it as one of those portals, as like one of these things that a community can take advantage of, then what we really need to do is start building these kind of like little Legos that communities can use to solve some of their biggest problems. Excuse me. Some of the biggest problems communities have right now is getting members and getting revenue. And so that's why we started looking at some of these other kinds of things that we could do, including like, hey, what if we made it easy for communities to set up like worldwide swag? So you could get a T-shirt that had the community's logo on it. That turns into a revenue source for the community. It turns into brand proliferation for the community. But to do that, we actually need to open our app up into this more open, like you don't have to log in to kind of see these things. You know, BCard, you can get a card, but you can also get swag without getting a card. Or you can, for instance, you know, there's a community that Hero and I are working on called Black Flag. You can put money into this Black Flag and start to accrue voting rights. And you know, this is just kind of another piece of another part of the portal, another way that you can do it. And so every community can kind of mix and match and put their own mechanisms in. If we want to start building that, it is I would say it's a very kind of opinionated and it's also kind of a big lift. So we really need to do it in an iterative way, and we really need to start with the things that our communities are going to use the most. That gets our communities the most excited. So that's why it's kind of like I still believe in this idea. It's kind of an idea that we've had over the last 2 years, right? Like this is kind of what we've been thinking about doing, is basically making UX better for a lot of these crappy UX Web3. And another thing is that like we've actually shown that we can make the UX better for some of this like Web3 shittiness, because we've gone and done the user tests and we've improved our scores like iteratively over time on the usability. So it is possible for us to do this, but it takes us time. And so the real thing is that we really need to focus our efforts. So we can't do all of the things. And that's why it's really important for us to do these community interviews before we kind of decide what to do next, because it's going to give us direction on what we should build first. And even then, even if we like have like all the communities are saying the same thing, which they won't be, and even if we build the exact right thing, which we won't, even then it still might not work right away, right? And so that's why it's so important for us to like focus our efforts. But yeah, we'll start with direction. We're going to iterate on this, but that's a kind of like long-term plan for the BCard product in general, is just kind of to have this like place for communities that is solving these community needs and ends up being like a hub for communities to send members. Hey, you want to join a community? Go to our BCard page. And you can do the thing that will get you part of the community. Maybe it is get a card. Maybe it is buy a membership. Maybe it is buy a T-shirt. Maybe it is stake some ETH. Whatever it is, just send to that page. It's open. Anyone can use it. It's super easy. But you don't even need to know about Web3 to use it. That would be our ultimate goal, right? But yeah, it's a very, let's say, ambitious goal, especially that part of like, hey, you don't need to understand Web3. That is the hard part, I would say. But it's not impossible, and we've shown that it can be possible. We just need to get better and better at it, and it is something that we're going to need to work at over time. But yeah, does that make sense? Like, is that any questions, comments, concerns?
No concerns, but I love the idea. When you started off, when you were talking about education, I was thinking, well, that it would have to be very specific to who's our target audience currently and who are we trying to attract, who we really want to attract, like in the future. But I think having this, I'll call it a portal, of ways to solving a problem of communities, of getting more people involved, getting them engaged, and earning revenue, I think is actually really clever. And I think because it solves a problem, and the user's experience is more about getting stuff and getting more engaged with the community that they love. So I think that's a really good thing. It's an awesome goal. I think it is an ambitious goal, but I think it's something that is like, I want to be more than just a card, right? Like you said, because there's so many there's a card popping up every day. I sent that list on one of the channels of, there was a report by Milk News. So I'd rather be something that is like offers a real benefit to communities and to people that are involved in them.
Great. Thanks for that feedback. Yeah, like our long game, like we have like a couple long games, right? Like, but if we're talking about things like we came from bankless DAO, right? And so we're really, like in general, banks have too much power. Every year they're increasing costs, they're decreasing services. I think like today, for the privilege of paying my rent, my landlord sent me a message basically saying like, hey, I lost your rent checks. You better come get me new rent checks, otherwise you're gonna get dinged on your credit report. And it's just like, seriously, like your mistake, and now I'm tied into this system where my credit can get dinged because you made a mistake. It's so silly, right? And so like in general, the financial system has too much power. One of our long goals is to kind of like de-bundle that as well. That's a really, really long goal. That's longer than this goal I'm talking about right now, around helping communities. But it is through communities that we can reach these kind of like larger heights. And so when we talk about things like financial literacy, in Web3, you actually need financial literacy more than you needed in the kind of fiat realm. I still think you need it in the fiat realm, right? But like all this to say that for our audience of crypto curious people, having some articles on financial literacy could be just as useful as having articles on crypto tooling. Any other feedback on this? Okay, my voice is a little is a little low right now, so I think I'm going to call it unless anyone else wants to speak up. I'll give a couple more seconds.
I just wanted to +1 that link. So I think like getting out some light articles around financial literacy is really smart, right? Because at least in my experience, and I used to be a bankruptcy lawyer in the old days, like financial literacy is basically at all-time lows, right? And so anything that can be done to educate folks and also at the same time wrapping a little BCard into it, I think is one of those kind of products that could reach across aisles, so to speak, and then really talk to people. So good insight there.
Speaking of rapping, I'd love to see you spit some bars, Hero.
We'll save it for ETH Denver, bro.
Yeah, I want to +1 the merch. I think that's a cool idea, and as you mentioned before, we have those pink is the new bank shirts, and they're definitely eye catching. We have a ton of opportunity in terms of artists around our community, and it's never been easier to set up a global merch distribution network. We've got things like slice.so, which allows you to charge using the Coinbase checkout, whatever that's called. So we can accept crypto, we can accept fiat, and then you can tie in certain things to it as well. I know back in the day there was Ultrasound Merch, which was working on their own Shopify crypto checkout process where you could use an NFT to check out, and it like briefly worked for a moment until it all just toppled down, and there were a number of reasons why that came crashing down. But the overall idea was fantastic because you could use something like an NFT to redeem for free merch. Now these Shopify plugins work a lot better. I just redeemed one recently for my Purple watch using something like Coinbase checkout or a Coinbase merchant account. You can do those types of things. So yeah, I'd love to see that gain a little bit of traction. Obviously, no major rush on it, but I think it's something that will definitely strengthen the brand and something that we can create a little bit of legacy with. So love to see and hear that idea.
Awesome. Any other feedback? All right. Well, I just want to say then, thank you to everyone for being here. You know, it is an idea. It is a product, and it is a community. BCard is a community that can't stand with just a couple people, right? Like it's something that we are only going to be able to do if we do it together. I posted something on Farcaster the other day. I think it was last night. Where I was reminded of the Newsboy strike in 1899, where basically 5,000 newsies were able to get two of the most powerful men in the world, William Randolph Hearst and Joseph Pulitzer, in one of the strongest industries of the world, newspapers, to basically back down. And that is extremely insane when you think about it. 5,000 people with no money at all, living in kind of share houses, who were making, like, in a day, they were making like 50 cents a day if they were lucky, kind of thing. That was these people, because they stood together, because they had kind of like this vision, direction, and they did it together. They were able to change their situation. Yeah, the same can be true for any of us. Those banks, they're a massive. I don't want to call them opponent, but they're, you know, they have a lot in the world, and some may say that it's impossible to get them to change course, but I don't think that's the case. I think if enough of us stand together, if enough of us keep working together, and as long as we're all working in the same direction, we can eventually affect the change that we want to see in the world. And so I just want people to remember that, because I just want to have some gratitude for all of you guys for being here. It's really important that we stick together. So thanks a lot, everyone, for being here. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you around.
Thanks, Lynx. Thanks, everybody. And yeah, awesome.
Cheers, guys. See ya.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Let's keep building it.